Which item should be rejected? Bags of organic cookies in torn packaging. Bottled milk at 41 degrees Fahrenheit 5 degrees Celsius. Single-use cups in original packing. Live oysters with an internal temperature of 50 degrees Fahrenheit 10 degrees Celsius. What is the best way to protect food from deliberate tampering? Make it as difficult as possible for someone to tamper with it. Allow former employees into the operation. Perform spot inspections on new vendors. Use the USDA ALARM system. The purpose of a food safety management system is to keep all areas of the facility clean and pest-free. Identify, tag, and repair faulty equipment within the facility. Prevent foodborne illness by controlling risks and hazards. Use the correct methods for purchasing and receiving food. What is the only jewelry that may be worn on the hands or arms while handling food? Plain band ring. Medical ID bracelet. Leather band watch. Diamond ring. Which method is a safe way to thaw food? As part of the cooking process. Under running water at 125 degrees Fahrenheit 52 degrees Celsius or higher. Submerged in a sink of standing water at 70 degrees Fahrenheit 21 degrees Celsius. On the counter at room temperature. Hot TCS food being hot held for service must be at what temperature? 70 degrees Fahrenheit 21 degrees Celsius or above. 125 degrees Fahrenheit 52 degrees Celsius or above. 135 degrees Fahrenheit 57 degrees Celsius or above. 155 degrees Fahrenheit 68 degrees Celsius or above. When may food handlers wear plain band rings? At any time. When not handling food. Only if wearing gloves. Only if washing dishes. Soup on a buffet should be labeled with the name of the food, prep date, soup's ingredients, use by date. When washing hands, what is the minimum time that food handlers should scrub hands and arms with soap? 5 seconds. 8 seconds. 10 seconds. 18 seconds. A manager's responsibility to actively control risk factors for foodborne illnesses is called Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point (HACCP). Quality Control and Assurance. Food Safety Management. Active Managerial Control. A recall has been issued for a specific brand of orange juice. The store manager has matched the information from the recall notice to the item, removed the item from inventory, and stored it in a secure location. What should the manager do next? Refer to the vendor notification for next steps. Contact the supplier and arrange for the product to be picked up. Label the item to prevent it from accidentally being placed back in inventory. Inform the local media, customers, and employees of the reason for the recall. What must a manager do with a recalled food item in the operation? Combine the item with non-recalled items during preparation. Record the names of customers who purchased the item. Store the recalled item separately from other food. Sell all recalled items within 24 hours. What must food handlers do after touching their body or clothing? Wash their hands. Rinse their gloves. Change their aprons. Use a hand antiseptic. What should a food handler do when working with an infected cut on the finger? Cover the wound with a bandage. Stay away from food and prep areas. Cover the hand with a glove or a finger cot. Cover the wound with an impermeable bandage or finger cot and a glove. Cold food can be held intentionally without temperature control for hours as long as it does not exceed 70 degrees Fahrenheit 21 degrees Celsius. 2, 4, 6, 8. What should food handlers do after prepping food and before using the restroom? Wash their hands. Take off their hats. Change their gloves. Take off their aprons. A food item that is received with an expired use-by date should be rejected, used immediately, accepted but labeled differently, accepted but kept separate from other items. When delivering food for off-site service, raw poultry must be stored at a lower temperature than ready-to-eat food, separately from ready-to-eat food, without temperature control, above raw beef. How should the temperature of a shipment of sour cream be taken when it arrives at an operation? Place a hand on a container to see if it is cool to the touch. Hold an infrared thermometer as close as possible to a case. Place the thermometer stem between shipping boxes for a reading. Remove the lid of a container and put the thermometer stem into the sour cream. What is the minimum internal cooking temperature for seafood? 135 degrees Fahrenheit 57 degrees Celsius or higher for 15 seconds. 145 degrees Fahrenheit 63 degrees Celsius or higher for 15 seconds. 155 degrees Fahrenheit 68 degrees Celsius or higher for 15 seconds. 165 degrees Fahrenheit 74 degrees Celsius or higher for 15 seconds. Where should food handlers wash their hands? Prep sink. Utility sink. Designated sink for hand washing. 3-compartment sink. One way for managers to show that they know how to keep food safe is to become certified in food safety. Take cooking temperatures. Monitor employee behaviors. Conduct self-inspections. What is the most important factor in choosing an approved food supplier? It has a HACCP program or other food safety system. It has documented manufacturing and packing practices. Its warehouse is close to the operation, reducing shipping time. It has been inspected and complies with local, state, and federal laws. How should chemicals be stored? Above food. Away from prep areas. In food storage areas. With kitchenware. Supplies should be stored away from the walls and at least off of the floor. 2 inches, 5 centimeters. 4 inches, 10 centimeters. 5 inches, 13 centimeters. 6 inches, 15 centimeters. To prevent the deliberate contamination of food, a manager should know whom to contact about suspicious activity, monitor the security of products, keep information related to food security on file, and know when to register with the EPA. How to fill out an incident report. Where to find safety data sheets in the operation. Who is in the facility. After which activity must food handlers wash their hands? Clearing tables. Putting on gloves. Serving customers. Applying hand antiseptic. When should a food handler with a sore throat and fever be excluded from the operation? Customers served are primarily a high-risk population. Fever is over 100 degrees Fahrenheit 38 degrees Celsius. Sore throat has lasted for more than 5 days. Before the regulatory authority is notified. Ice crystals on a frozen food item indicate time temperature abuse, cross-contamination, poor cleaning and sanitizing, poor personal hygiene. In addition to other criteria, how many people must have the same symptoms in order for a foodborne illness to be considered an outbreak? At least 1. At least 2. At least 10. At least 20. After handling raw meat and before handling produce, what should food handlers do with their gloves? Clean and sanitize them. Continue working with them. Set them aside if working with meat again later. Wash hands and change them. A manager walks around the kitchen every hour to answer questions and to see if staff members are following procedures. This is an example of which step in active managerial control. Management oversight. Corrective action. Re-evaluation. Identify risks. What should be done to ready-to-eat TCS food that will be prepped on-site and held for longer than 24 hours? Date mark it. Sell it. Throw it away. Serve it within the next hour. A power outage has left hot TCS food out of temperature control for 6 hours. What must be done with the food? Cool the food to 41 degrees Fahrenheit 5 degrees Celsius or lower. Serve the food immediately. Cook the food 165 degrees Fahrenheit 74 degrees Celsius. Throw the food away. What is the main reason for food handlers to avoid scratching their scalps? Transferring a food allergen. Spreading pathogens to the food. Getting food in their hair. Causing toxic metal poisoning. Food must be cooled from 135 degrees Fahrenheit 57 degrees Celsius to within 2 hours. 80 degrees Fahrenheit 27 degrees Celsius. 45 degrees Fahrenheit 7 degrees Celsius. 70 degrees Fahrenheit 21 degrees Celsius. 41 degrees Fahrenheit 5 degrees Celsius. A manager asks a chef to continue cooking chicken breasts after seeing them cooked to an temperature. This is an example of which step in active managerial control? Identifying risks. Monitoring. Corrective action. Re-evaluation. Hat is a basic characteristic of a virus. Destroyed by cooking. Grows in food. Requires a living host to grow. D. Commonly found in cattle intestines. Where should personal items, like a coat, be stored in the operation? On a shelf, above food. On a shelf, below food. In a designated area, away from food. In a kitchen, away from moving equipment. An imminent health hazard, such as a water supply interruption, requires immediate correction or a HACCP plan. Closure of the operation. Evaluation of the situation. Normal operating procedures.